They told you to wait until you're ready, to listen to your heart, to wait for that fire to spark before you move. That's why most people never start anything real. That's why they're still stuck in the same routine they were in a year ago, talking big but living small. Motivation is a high, and like every high, it crashes. It's temporary. Guts never waited to feel ready, because he knew that life wasn't going to wait for him. He didn't fight because he felt inspired, he fought because he had to. That's what most people don't get. The world doesn't reward you for feeling good. It rewards you for producing under pressure, moving when it hurts, and staying cold when everything inside you wants to collapse. That's the edge most men have lost. They think emotions are signals. They're not. They're noise. You think you're tired? Guts was bleeding out and still swinging. You think you're burnt out? Guts watched his entire team get sacrificed while he was still breathing. He moved forward not because he was brave, but because stopping meant he'd become like everyone else. Soft, bitter, broken, and waiting for life to fix him. That's the truth. Nobody's coming. No savior. No surge of motivation. No perfect day where everything feels aligned. The men who win are the ones who move when it's dark. They build when they're scared. They train when they're empty. That's not talent. That's wiring. That's years of killing the dependency on mood. Guts didn't have self-help books, podcasts, or dopamine detox routines. He had war, pain, hunger, rage, loss. But more than anything, he had clarity, a reason that didn't depend on how he felt. That's what most men today lack, clarity strong enough to survive their emotions. They want to feel like working out, feel like building, feel like starting a business. But here's the harsh truth. By the time you feel like it, someone else has already taken what was yours. You're not tired. You're distracted. You're not unmotivated. You're overstimulated. You've trained your brain to chase frictionless hits, short-form content, scrolling, comfort, entertainment. And now real work feels like pain. That's not weakness. That's a symptom of exposure. You've been biologically hijacked, so when it's time to fight, you hesitate, you analyze, you wait, and you justify it by saying you're not feeling it. But that's the exact reason you're stuck, because you still think how you feel should determine what you do. Guts never had that luxury. And if you really want to become dangerous in this life, neither should you. You want self-respect? Earn it in silence. Earn it by working when no one's clapping. Earn it by waking up on days you hate yourself and still moving like your future depends on it, because it does. Guts didn't have perfect confidence, he had scars, and he kept walking with them. Most men break at the first sign of discomfort. Guts was discomfort. That's why he was unstoppable. Not because of strength, but because he built his mind in fire, not fantasy. He knew something most people never realize. Pain doesn't mean stop. It means you've arrived. It means the work finally matters. Because if it's easy, it's not real. If it's painless, it won't last. You want to build something unbreakable? You'll have to become someone unbreakable first. That starts the moment you stop looking for motivation and start looking in the mirror, knowing no one's coming to save you. You are the plan. You are the backup. You are the pressure. That's why Guts kept walking. That's why winners don't pause. Because they've trained their identity to execute whether they feel 100 or feel nothing. You think the enemy cares if you're tired? If you're confused? If you had a rough childhood? If you got ghosted? It doesn't. Life keeps moving. And if you don't move with it, it buries you where you stand. You don't need more motivation. You need more scars. You need more silence. You need to become the kind of man who moves through the fog, through the noise, through the mess, and still performs with surgical clarity. That's power, and nobody gives that to you. You earn it in the moments you feel the most broken and decide to build anyway. Guts wasn't a hero, he was a man who stopped waiting. You should too.